Good morning, Flosstube friends. This is Little Annie Z, Lisa, on Instagram and YouTube. And today, since it's my birthday weekend, I am going to just do a quick two-project DIY with you, which you see here. That will come at the end of the video in case you are not interested in that. But I did want to do a fully finished object parade for you. So over the last month, I've been really busy fully finishing some things that I've been working on. And the first one that I want to share with you is the Gardener by Blackbird Designs. And I changed my colors a little bit. I made a very flat pillow, as you can see, and I did sew this all the way around and put a slit in the back to stuff it, and I added some purple shades to my palette because I have a purple and green display on my kitchen table, and we'll talk more about that when I get to the DIY section. I backed this, well, let me tell you, I used, let me tell you the fabric. I used 32 count light mocha by Zweigart, and I backed it with some fabric. I don't remember the collection. Put a square wool patch of a mustard color. On the safety pin, I've got a purple tassel and a little key, and I tied it with some Victoria Clayton silk ribbon in the mustard color. So that is my first fully finished object. My second one is a project that my stitching guild did, a friendship basket. I can't show you the pattern, but it is free on Hello from Liz Matthews website. And all of my stitching friends put their little flowers on my basket. So at our guild meeting, we passed it around to our friends and they put their little flower on there. And I made a little needlebook thread bed out of mine. So this is some French General fabric, a little piece of wool, and so that'll be really cute accessory for me to use in my stitching. And then I did the 4th of July sampler by the Humble Stitcher. I adapted this a little bit, and I'll show you how I fully finished it. So let me see if I can get this in the whole, show you the whole thing first, and then I'll give you a close-up. I magnetized it onto this basket full of hydrangeas, and I used I used on this 14 count toast by Zweigart that I just got at Hobby Lobby, and I used DMC. I changed the colors a little bit. I'll tell you the colors that I used. I used DMC 413 for the bluish color, it's actually a pewter gray color, I use DMC 453 and DMC 3770, and the red is DMC 918. It's more of a copper color. So this was supposed to be like a beige or a tan, but I used some white because I wanted to use this toast fabric. So that is the 4th of July sampler by the Humble Stitcher. And I didn't tell you, on my friendship basket, I used 25 count Lori Holt Prim and her some of her Prim Aurifil colors. Okay, my next one is a Stitching with the Housewives pattern that I put on this antique scale. So I'll give it a spin. It's called Bunny Garden, and my basket is sideways, and I put a cabbage that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I just connected this with some clothespins. So let me take it off and I'll give you a close-up. Here's the pattern. And I used 14 count Smoky Blue Dyed Effect by Fabric Flair. And I believe I used all the called for classic color works. And all I did was back this with some iron-on interfacing, stitched it all the way around with a coordinating fabric, and then used applique glue for the patch. Like I said, I'm trying to incorporate purple shades into my decor this year for spring. But it is so super cute. I just love her big cabbages and the bunny slippers. So that is Bunny Garden by Stitching with the Housewives. And I love this antique scale. My mom and I went antique shopping last year, and I think I showed this to you last year when it was my birthday. And next, my last FFO is a doily that I crocheted, and this is called Pineapple on a Stick. And this is an old book that I have. And this is, I put it on a whiteboard so you could see about 25% of it. Again, it's purple. I did this with the thread that you find at Hobby Lobby, the bedspread weight thread. It's actually mercerized cotton. But I'll put it down on the floor. It's 20 inches in diameter. So this is going to go on my coffee table for spring. Okay, so next I want to share with you a DIY project that I did. I saw something similar on Pinterest, and I had this from Hobby Lobby. No, actually, this is from Michael's. I did pick up this little thing that says Love Our Nest, and I topped it. In the spring, I like to put out all my my birds. I've collected hummingbird nests. So what I've got here are, to give it height, and you would do this with any height you want, just to fill it up. But I loved the stacked teacups. Let's see if I can bring this closer. I loved the stacked teacups and saucers, and so I just kind of zigzagged the cups around a little bit. I hope you can see that. I stuffed my top teacup with some paper towels and then layered the nests in there, and I had this little bird clay in a nest from somebody had made me that out of clay. And then I'll just give it a spin. In the back, I put some old letters that were in an antique trunk that my grandfather had. Let's see if I can give you a better look at those. So these are actually letters that were written to family from Sicily to America when they were coming to visit in the early 50s. They were coming by boat and explaining which boat they were coming and the date, and it was really fun reading those letters in Italian. So I thought this was a fun springtime DIY to share with you guys. And you could do this with this stacked teacup look with really any container. But I thought it was fun in this wire cloche. And then I've got one more DIY to share with you. And I'll actually take this one apart so I can show you. I bought at Hobby Lobby 2 bunches of tulips. So I'll take those out. And then I cut them all off the main stem so that I could arrange them the way I wanted. And I cut a good bit of length off of them. And then I bought this wreath. It's a, actually here, I've got the tag from Hobby Lobby still on it. It doesn't really have any information except there's a number right here, and I'll read that number if you want. It's 1732445. And this is a chamber pot without the lid that I picked up at an antique store years ago. So I wanted a wreath that I knew would fit right on top, which would give my tulips a place to stay. So you would want to measure your container and get a wreath that size. And then once I cut my tulips, I just arranged them the way I wanted, and they just kind of fluff out here. And my berries still show on my wreath, and it makes a really pretty display. I wanted it kind of squatty, so that's why I cut a lot of length off. And I'll give it a spin for you. It's a really fun DIY, and very quick and inexpensive if you get the florals on sale. So I hope you enjoyed my quick FFO Parade and 2 DIYs, and I'll be back in a week or so with a full Flosstube for you to show you progress on my whips. So I hope you all have a great weekend. Bye-bye.